Crypto is booming. Now, I said back in December of 2023 that crypto would be the biggest word in 2024. Well, we are well on our way to that being exactly what I said it would be. But mind if I talk about an uncomfortable truth? Are you sure? Because most don't want to acknowledge, much less talk about this truth. They just want to ignore it. And that might be you. You might just want to completely skip this because many don't want to have to face what this adds up to. Now, I often ask myself, why aren't more rich through crypto? I've been in the space for 7 years now. A lot of people might not realize that this is the case. A lot of people are following influencers that have YouTube channels that might even have really big followings, and they don't realize that these people haven't made significant wealth through crypto investment. That many of the big channels make their money through advertising and other revenues from their channel, but not through their investments. Now, there are a few that are massively wealthy from it, but just a few. And I know a few that are massively wealthy over this last 7 years from crypto investment, but just a few out of literally tens of thousands of people. Now, I personally know that there is so much money to be made here. So why aren't more people savagely wealthy? Well, I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, and he was sharing with me about an influencer that was talking about his recent 25x gain and how he had predicted the run on it, and he was right. And I thought, cool, 25x gain, that is substantive, especially this early in the market. We're barely entering phase 2 of the bull run. Now, I've had a few that did better than that, but just a few so far. So 25x at this point is really, really cool. But then I learned that the person had put $100 into it because it was a risky, low conviction play. Secondly, have you really made the gains or the money until you've harvested those gains, as anything can retrace? So have you really turned $100 into $2,500 if you haven't yet harvested it out of there? And I've been pondering on that story, which is what prompted this video. Because if someone didn't know better, that they'd think that 25x is life-changing. And it starts to be, but only with larger amounts invested. Now, for some people, $100 into $2,500, wow, that's incredible. But $2,500 doesn't get you across the real financial finish line at all. And realize that that person who made that $100 into $2,500, we don't know the full situation because they might have taken 24 other low conviction plays. And this is the one that ran. And therefore, it gets the attention when you talk about it. But overall, is the person getting rich from this? Now, juicy 25x get your gains going, but only if you have it in like a really big amount already invested. And so what you need is a system that helps you identify projects worth high conviction plays so that then you can have substantive amounts invested and get 25x or more. Otherwise, you won't be ending up with anything meaningful. So again, why are more crypto investors not savagely wealthy? Well, they don't have a meaningful system to help them identify projects worth higher conviction amounts that then they are patient on, and then let those play out to high gains. Simple way of this is saying they're just playing the crypto slot machines, which during the next 4 to 10 months will likely pay out okay. They'll lose a whole bunch, but they're really just walking from machine to machine. And most will keep playing it. Far after the gains then fall off, they will lose what they made and they will not end up meaningfully wealthy. So as I've been thinking about this problem and what lessons are there to be drawn out of this, it reinforces my conclusion. And this is a conclusion that I came to after about a year and a half into crypto investing. Though I was still new, I didn't really have a system developed yet. But I started to realize that I needed to learn how to look at projects to see which ones really had potential versus all the crap out there. And I started to realize that a lot of the crypto projects out there are just crap. And by crap, that doesn't mean they can't go up. The predictability on them is not high enough. What I learned is in the crypto space, you can, through research and some skill and a little bit of experience, start to identify projects that might be out of the narrative that nobody is talking about right now. But the probability that they have success when their narrative hits is high. So instead of taking these just risky gains that you can throw $100 into, turn into $2,500, well, what if there are ones worth taking that, I don't know what your financial situation is, but you can put 1,000 into, or 5,000 or 10,000, because 10,000 going 25x, that starts to be substantive. That doesn't make you rich. But when you get to 250,000 in gains, now you start to have a real substantive amount to put into projects. And then when you have $1 million or $2 million, and if you get a 25x on that, okay. So these are the kind of gains people are looking for, and they never quite get there. Why? Because they're just doing what everyone else is doing in the crypto space. They're just chasing what's being talked about on Twitter, what's being talked about on YouTube, hoping they're going to get the gains from that. There's a better way. Now, to really understand it, realize that this video can't fully encapsulate it. I do have a course that'll walk you through it. I call it Zero to Crypto Hero, because unfortunately, there's some education that has to go into learning how to do things right. And in that course, I walk you through identifying projects, identifying the timing, because you could be investing in the best project in the world. But if you're investing in it when it's already gone up 80x or 100x, you're late to the party, and the chances that it reverses on you are really, really high. So it walks you through timing, it walks you through identifying good projects, and many of the different steps are so important to having a system that you can follow that leads you to being able to take higher conviction plays that you feel comfortable putting larger amounts in. And then when those go 25x, 50x, 100x, 200x, these are the kind of gains that make you wealthy. Makes sense? I'm sure it does. I appreciate you joining me on this journey. Look, I'm not a YouTuber. Some people are really skilled sharing their stuff on YouTube. They're super entertaining. That's fantastic. I don't know whether you think I'm entertaining or not. That is beside the point. This system and the way I look at things, I know this stuff works because it's what I've used to have way above average results. Now, whether I can convey that well to you, I think I can, but that's for you to decide. Already, some of my early followers are already multimillionaires, but just some of my early followers. Why? Because it really takes at least one cycle that you're well prepared for. And we're still early in this cycle. And many of you didn't join me on this journey till the tail end of the last bull market or even in this bear market. So many of you are going to be really wealthy or starting to be wealthy this bull run because I know you've been preparing well for it. And I'm excited to see that journey. And then many of you might just be finding me now. Cool. Hopefully you can understand my system, learn it really well, start to make some good gains this cycle, and then harvest those gains and be prepared for the crypto winter that will follow, because it's the pickups that you make in that following crypto winter that will really, really add up to some serious gains the following bull run. And then you'll be able to live the lifestyle you've always wanted. That's going to be a fun time. We'll see y'all soon.